I've been locked away in my trading lab lately. I'm super excited to finally share what I've been working on. I've cracked the code on a trading strategy that has been producing some seriously impressive profits. Now I know what you're thinking. This isn't some black box system or complicated algorithm. This strategy is built on the fundamental principles of the price action. And that's what makes it super powerful. Because it's rooted in how price actually moves, it's incredibly versatile. We're talking stocks, forex, crypto, commodities, you name the market. The underlying principles apply. And I'm not just going throughout big claims without backing them up. I've been putting this strategy to the test myself and the results have been pretty mind-blowing. Just to give you a taste, I took a small sample of trades, only 7 to be exact, to see how it performs in real market conditions, and guess what? 6 out of 7 trades were winners. That's 85% win rate, and get this, those 7 trades alone generated a whopping 441% profit. Now I'm not promising you replicate these exact numbers every time, but it does show you the potential of this strategy when applied correctly. So if you're ready to learn a trading approach that's based on solid principles, adaptable to various markets, and has the potential to generate serious profits, then stick around. In this video, I'm going to break down exactly how this strategy works step by step. You'll see the indicators I use, their specific entry and exit rules, and how you can start applying it to your own trading. Alright, let's dive into the first crucial tool we'll be adding to our trading toolbox, the higher high lower low strategy. Now this is where the real magic starts to happen. This indicator is cornerstone of our approach, and it's gonna give us a clear edge in the market. You might have seen other versions of this indicator floating around, and this is totally cool, but after a ton of testing and tweaking, I found the one by Lonesome the Blue to be the absolute best. This one is the one I rely on in my own trading, and I'm confident you'll see why. Think of this indicator as your personal market detective. Its main mission to sniff out those key turning points in price action, the pivot highs and lows. These are the moments where the market shifts gear, and catching them early can be super powerful. But this indicator isn't just one trick pony. It goes a step further, calculating the higher highs and lower lows. This gives us a crystal clear picture of what the trend is doing. Are we cruising in an uptrend, making higher highs and higher lows, or we are heading downhill in a downtrend, forming lower highs and lower lows? This info is absolutely vital for making smart trading decisions. And here's another awesome feature. This indicator also figure out potential support and resistance levels based on those key pivot points. Support and resistance are like invisible floors and ceiling for price. They show us where the market has historically shown buying and selling interest. By spotting these levels, we can anticipate potential price reversals or breakouts, giving us a heads up on where the market might be heading next. So basically, the indicator gives us a full-on roadmap of the market, highlighting key turning points, the trend direction, and potential areas of support and resistance. Pretty sweet, right? Now before we jump right in and start using the strategy, we need to make a couple of important tweaks to the indicator settings to get it dialed in just for what we're doing. This is where we fine-tune things. It's important to get this right. First off, we're going to adjust the left and right bar options to 9. Now you might be thinking, why 9? What's the deal with the number? Well, after a lot of backtesting and real-world use, I found this particular setting helps the indicator pinpoint the most important pivot points. It's basically filter out some of the noise and wiggles that can sometimes clutter up the charts, letting us zero in on the truly important turning points. Trust me on this one. It makes a big difference in how accurate and effective the indicator is. Second, to keep our chart nice and clean, uncluttered, and easy to read, because let's be honest, a messy chart can make your brain feel messy too. We're going to temporarily turn off the support and resistance lines that the indicator automatically draws. Don't worry, we're not losing that info. We can always draw these lines in by hand later if we need them. For right now, a clean and focused chart is key for clear thinking and confident trading. With these two little tweaks, the higher high lower low indicator is perfectly set up for our strategy. Everything else can stay at the default settings. Now to really complete the super profitable trading strategy, we need one more piece of puzzle: quantum bands. This indicator basically calculates Bollinger Bands based on a period and multiplier that you define. It plots the midline, which is called the basis, and then the upper and lower band, showing you potential price volatility and areas of support and resistance. It even generates buy and sell signals when the price crosses the bands. But here's the thing, we're not using those signals in this particular strategy, so let's jump into settings and in the inputs change the period to 21. Then head over to the style tab and turn off the background color and signals. We don't need those distracting our view. One more quick point about quantum bands. When the price candles are above the mid baseline, we consider the market to be in an uptrend, and when they're below it, you guess it, downtrend. Okay, now let's talk about two key concepts that are absolutely crucial for this strategy: bearish breakouts and bullish breakouts. These are triggers that tell us when to potentially enter a trade. Now, to identify these breakouts, we're going to use a simple but effective technique: manually drawing horizontal lines. So when we spot a lower low point on the chart, we draw a horizontal line at that level. We then patiently wait for the price candles to close below the line. If a candle does indeed close below our drawn line, we call that a bearish breakout. Think of it as the price breaking through a support level. On the flip side, when we spot a higher high on the chart, we do the same thing. We draw a horizontal line at that higher high level. Then we wait for a candle to close above it. If a candle successfully closes above our line, we call that a bullish breakout. This is like the price is smashing through a resistance level. Now here's where things get interesting, and this is a really important point to understand. So you might be thinking, awesome, so I just buy or sell whenever one of these breakout happens, right? Easy money. Well, not quite. It's more complicated than that. We don't just blindly jump into a trade every time we see a breakout. We need further confirmation. Let me show you an example on the chart to illustrate what I mean. Let's say we have a higher high here, and then we get a bullish breakout. A candle closes above the higher high level, and thus above the horizontal line withdrawn. That's a good start. But here's the kicker, the real game changer. The closing price of the signal candle is above the upper band of quantum bands indicator, and that's the key. That's what we're looking for. When the closing price of the breakout candle is outside of the band, it tells us there's some serious bullish momentum in the market. It's like the market is saying, I'm not just breaking out, I'm breaking out with force. This significantly increases the odds of this trade being a winner. It's that extra confirmation we need to feel confident in our entry. For these long trades, we can use the lower bands of the quantum bands indicator as the stop loss. And for take profit, you have a couple of options. You can either trade your stop loss along with the baseline of the quantum bands, or you can use a fixed risk to reward ratio like 1.5 or 2. The same basic principle applies to short trades, but this time we're looking for the closing price of the bearish signal candle to be below the lower band. This confirms the bearish momentum. Now, I gotta be real with you. You're not going to become a pro trader overnight. This strategy, or any strategy for that matter, won't magically make you rich unless you put in the time and efforts to practice and really master it. So get out there, start practicing, and happy trading.